Welcome to Our Thoughts podcast. We discuss all thoughts surrounding life, and we're your hosts, Anmol and Yashar. Hi, people. Okay, so today we're going to tell you how to choose the right school. Because choosing a school and choosing the right school are two different things, and I'm not trying to downplay anything, but I see choosing the right school is like choosing a good pair of shoes. So when you pick a pair of shoes, you want to pick a pair that matches your style as well as picks your size. Choosing a school would also revolve around what fits you. A school that is good as well as fits your future goals and the things that you have in mind for yourself. I agree. And selection of your universities plays a very crucial role in enhancing your overall profile. So we spoke about the admission process in the previous episode, and for those who are listening to this episode prior to the previous one, as the name suggests, school selection is the process of choosing which school to go to. It goes without saying that this is an important aspect of the entire admissions process. For those who don't know what the admission process is, it's something that you can have a deeper look in the previous video, which we will link somewhere in the description. If there is a need to write an exam, if there is a requirement for an SOB, which is statement of purpose, or essays or letter of recommendation, so all that really, follow the umbrella of the admission process. It is very detailed and very, you have to cross a lot of T's and dot a lot of I's. But yeah, that's what admission process would be. So from my experience, I feel that in the beginning, if you select 5 to 6 universities, that will play a very safe bet on your university sketch. Yeah, but then before we go further into how to shortlist those schools, I think that there are a few aspects that students need to consider. Maybe we could start discussing those and then students to figure out how to get to 6 schools. So the more honest you are, the better it is, because there is a student of ours who was held then on a particular university with their friend had gone to that same university 1 year prior. So she went there and she was very disappointed that the class was full of students of her own nationality and very few students of other nationality. Few of you as an audience might consider, hey, what went wrong? Because it's a nice thing to have people from your own nationality. And she had spoken to a reliable source, because obviously when you speak to a friend, they are a pretty reliable source and they give you all the team that is going on in the campus, right? So what happened was, when there's an adaptability issue that comes with when you are going to a new university, and that did not challenge her enough, right? Whereas the person she took her advice from was someone who did not want that much international diverse background to be there. Her idea was the education and the particular area of expertise. Yes, but when the person I'm talking about, they went, what happened then? That point was they felt it was not that diverse. It did not challenge her to grow in the sense that she imagined an international or global program with challenge. I think it boils down to what you want. In the previous episode, we discussed the importance of knowing what you want and your why before you actually apply to university. So, say suppose let's take us for an example. Say suppose I am an individual who wants to interact with multiple ethnicities and wants to, build my network globally, or I'm just inclined towards knowing different culture and experiencing diverse cultures, cuisines. And on the other hand, more is an individual who is then comfortable with the idea of interacting with people from different ethnicities, because there's going to be language barrier, there's going to be food issue, which is a very massive issue. For the sake of an example, if we go to Canada, maybe Anmol is very, very comfortable there because she will find her community, her own people, and she might feel a sense of belongingness, and she will find a home away from home. Whereas if I go there and if I don't meet people with different ethnicities. I feel that the entire purpose of me coming to Canada has been lost, which is why knowing why you are traveling to a different country altogether for your education is going to be very. So there are people who don't want to go to a campus that is outside of the city, and there are people who want to go to a campus that is outside of the city and it is secluded, so that they have an opportunity to mingle with their classmates or seniors or teachers. But then there are students who want to experience the city life, and no judgment. It's just what you want at the end of the day. But consider your whys and ensure that whatever course you end up choosing is giving you the highest return on your investment. And I just don't mean monetary investment, I mean time also. And it's pretty being often emotional turmoil also when you leave home and try to settle in a new country altogether. That also just concerning. So with respect to shortlisting the university 5 to 6, that is a counselor's advice, but we also have a consultant with us. Maybe you would have something to say about that, Yasha. My advice is generally begin with 6 schools, put it into a major category, two schools each go into each category. So category number 1 should be your safety schools, category number 2 should be your reach schools, and category number 3 should be your dream schools. If you have the time and the capacity to stretch it a little, somewhere in between your reach school and your dream school, it could be a stretch school also, which is slightly lower than your dream school but slightly higher than your reach school. Expand this list depending on how much time you have before you're applying. 6 is a good place to begin with because you have 2 schools in each category. Your safety school would be schools where taking an admission would be easy, for the lack of a better word, considering your education, the qualification, the kind of personality you have. Your dream schools would be schools that you think that are a little out of your reach and, generally you never say or parts about it. जो ऐसा भी लगे, but then you should apply for the sake of experience. I always say that you should, like if you have the talent. I think the first logical thing that everyone should look for is a university ranking when you're studying abroad. So if you're confused as to if university ranking is something that you should look at or if the program ranking is something that you should look at, I think you should prioritize the university ranking first in a generic sense and then the program ranking. However, sometimes it happens that the program is better than the university ranking. So you have to choose your options very carefully. But choosing the university, and say if you're studying in top 10 and top 20 university, that is always a safe bet because that it will add the goodwill to the profile, and also you will have the kind of networking opportunities. By network I mean to build for your further you can see scores to alumni or teachers and right. There is a sense of belongingness when you come from one particular institute. Suppose there is XYZ institute and both of us have studied there. Even if we have studied there decades apart, right? Then also I didn't have this thing because you will instantly have a connection, probably maybe a club or a NGO or society that you might have joined, and your value system is something that can align along with your topics of interest. Because when you go to a university, that university will also have a motto. And if you align with that brand identity, that only you are a good match for that particular university. Point number 2 after ranking that you should consider is career prospects. And one of the career prospects, it's very competitive in India, but I think abroad also to be considered the placement ratio, employability rate. What is the employability rate? So that is something that is to be considered. Considering that it is a lot of money, especially when you try to study abroad. No, of course, money industry is something that plays a huge role. Why? Because you have to see the financial option, you have to see the scholarship option. And a lot of time here at universities who are providing the scholarship option and the financial options, but you do not have the complete whereabouts about it and the complete awareness about it. So it is very necessary that, you have to see that if you're in international school or it's a regional university, you'll have to see what kind of opportunities are available for you. There are some particular area or some subject areas that provides you scholarship opportunities. And then of course it is also marginalized on the basis of your background. So if you're someone who needs support, if you're from a low income group, then you'll have that economical. So you of course have financing and scholarship options with respect to not just a merit, but also need-based scholarships are also there, and nationality-based scholarships. So all the global university, every good global university will provide you the support you need with respect to the finance. Especially if you come from a very economically weaker economy or sector. Yeah. And since we're discussing money, I think one thing that students should consider is there an opportunity to study abroad? If there is an opportunity for an exchange program that your particular course has, that is a great opportunity to know how you will adapt in a different culture, because this is something that many corporations look at. So if there is an exchange program or there's an opportunity to study abroad, you should opt for that. First, there are generic things that we'll be looking at, but there are also a few non-generic things that we should concentrate upon to do when we are looking for these programs, because it will reflect the overall experience of the program. Your performances. Yeah. So, for example, let's say the class size. Yes. Okay, this is the student to faculty ratio. And it is very, very important. In my opinion, it is very, very important. So, but like there is one individual and he or she has to take care of 40 students, as opposed to there is one individual who has to take care of 250 students. So, obviously, your attention is divided between 40 students. Each student will get more attention. And your attention is divided between 50 students. You will like each student will 15 minutes, less attention. The second thing that I feel is massively influenced by a bigger class size is individual interactions, because a lot of students have told me that when they study in a bigger class size, they feel less connected towards their classmates, because interactions reduce and your participation also reduces, because obviously in a tour of 250 students you can easily get lost. So that is something that should be considered, especially for people who are a little bit on the introverted side. I think the overall potential of student is something that gets impacted through the class size. So I think population is something that should also be considered. Right? General population only cause it, yeah. Because if fewer students means a stronger community feel, and large universities will have of course more livelier campus and social life and more opportunities, but then a sense of belongingness within the university, within the campus, that sense of camaraderie will come time. Right. You hear each other very intimately. You are in a very small space. You have the opportunity to know each other very intimately. Right. So that's cool. Especially because of the extracurriculars is something you are interested in. It will bring you more diversity with respect to even the programs. You can even know people from different programs, so they have a different outcome. Because a whole point in our diversity, I cannot stress this enough, because this is something really important to me. For me, this is very important. You should also check how diverse the university in general is. And the program was it. For when I mean diversity, I just don't mean ethnicity, I mean your gender groups as well. So like there are few programs that are inclined towards one particular gender, male or female. That's actually true. When you check diversity, check the ethnic groups, check the diversity when it comes to gender groups as well. See if it has improved over time. Because when you are, studying at a global university, you want to have connections. There is this friend of mine, because she went to a university where she had people from various parts from the world. Now she said that when I travel, I don't look for a but I can just call off a classmate and say if they can I can crash with them. And then I get to, hang out with them, catch up with them, and have an opportunity to maintain that relationship. And this has helped her, make her career as well. So she's okay with moving globally, right? Then whenever there's an opportunity, anybody's organization, which they feel that she could fit into, they make sure that they reach out to her. And just because she is just cashing with them, saying that is networking, and that's basically networking. Yeah, right. What you do over LinkedIn, you are doing in search, right? So I think that's a very smart. The existence of a diverse environment would be important for me, but then there would be individuals who don't want this experience, who want a sense of similar ethnic groups. So if you are that individual, then also it is going to be very important for you to check how diverse it is, so that you don't feel out of place if you end up in a university that is extremely diverse. Honest to say that connection and networking is important, and connections is a good segue to the participation that we get directly into the clubs and the societies. Yeah, okay. So we understand the studies is important. Studies are important and it will be important, but then again you have to maintain a connection and networking, and you have to also explore other potentials that you have apart from just your education. And that is why these societies and clubs are important. So not only will they, polish your social and networking skills, but it is also a great place where you can look for internships and voluntary experiences. Also, like Tesha was telling me, if you will have that kind of network and you are trying to, communicate, then these are your areas of interest. Your peers will know this is your area of interest, and if they find something of a similar opportunity that they are aware about, only when you've communicated it to them, they'll be able to, network it and send it your way. So, but it is not just important because you have few socialized and of course you have better skills. It is important that you communicate so that you are making your peers aware that these are your license and it's only area of interest. Yeah. So if a similar opportunity arises, I think they're going to, send it go. There is also an YouTuber called Ali Abdal. He has studied medicine from Howard or Oxford. I don't remember which days. And I cannot tell you how many videos he has gone out and said that studying medicine is obviously very difficult and hard work and whatever. But then he said that even when I was studying, I would keep put a wedge and keep my door open, so that if somebody wants to have a conversation, they can just come in and have a little bit of conversation, so that human connection is not lost. And he says that it is really, really important to balance this along with your education. So if not us, then maybe you want to listen to a real fan and take his advice. So I think Yasha was saying me that there's this new concept that's sitting dying, and yes, there's something that you should look into for the same reasons, of course, your area of interest. So that is something we'll have to figure out if you are the kind of person who would like a city like more or a campus like life more. These are other areas of interest that should probably look into before you move out. Because it's still ring this what someone is saying is also important to consider, because city life mein rehne ka kharcha bhi hota hai. Exactly. So you get network equity, you have definite facets. So like when I talk about India living in say Chandigarh, he's slightly cheaper than living in cities like Bangalore or Mumbai, both are so big sorry. I mean when you live in a massive city, the rent would be skyrocketing and there will be other things, and as a student, these things are something that would affect. It would affect a lot of students who are going to NY. You have to relocate to New York, and New York is an expensive city. Yeah, so they do reconsider that we go to NYU means building good networks because it's a corporate hub. But then again, you also have to look into the expenses. You have to reevaluate before you go there. So you have those opportunities, but you have to invest beforehand. So you have to see if that is something that falls in your comfort zone and your plan. I think enjoying both these things, or city life or campus life, is something that is completely your personal call based on the network preference. Network preference is also मुझे लगता है ये ऐसा भी है कि मुझे नेचर में रहना है, शांति में रहना है, राइट? तो मुझे ऐसा कैंपस चाहिए और मुझे आई वॉन्ट टू पार्टी, वॉट एवर फ्री टाइम आई गेट आई वॉन्ट टू पार्टी. तो वो भी इज योर कॉल. मतलब आई थिंक इट बॉइल्स डाउन कि तुम्हारे non-negotiables down. And yeah, you have to list down your priorities. What is something that is more important to you? And not, in my personal opinion, please do that. Something a few of my students have done. Do not prioritize just one thing. That this is something baki dekhna hi nahi hai. Just look into it, gain better clarity. Choosing and not choosing is your personal call. But you have to see the negotiables and non-negotiables and then make a... You will have to have like a list of, say suppose you have a list of 10 things. Uske baad you will be like, okay, this is negotiable, this is non-negotiable, this is negotiable, and this is non-negotiable. So I think you first and foremost, you need to have a list, and like you should have and button a pen and paper and jot it down. And basically, haven't really rewrite, jot down everything, and see that I think 8-9 points even we discussed. These are some things that we feel that it is a good combination of balance of negotiables and non-negotiables. Of course, you might have different priorities, so you look into that as well. Yeah. And if you have any further questions, you can get back to us on talking.podcast for the solutions, which we will link in the description as well. But I think that's it for now. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening. I love it now. Bye. Take care. Bye. Take care. I hope we dialed.